We need to start focusing on self and seeing seeing shit for what it is. Yes, we have been surviving unknowing and knowing, but it's time to remember. It's time to remember who we truly are, what we could truly be. And you hear me say we, not me. We, not just humankind. Everything, everything and anything. When everything works for everything, everything works. We've been out of sync, out of rhythm, missing pieces that's malfunctioning or, faulty or worn down in all aspects of this illusion or matrix. And I'm the one to tell you to awaken you up, that it don't have to be this way. The things that's been broken ain't really broke. They just need to be refined, brought back to purity, brought back to the original state of what the purpose was it for. Not with all the loopholes, not with all the, oh, look at this and look at that. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Love is love, evil is evil. Like, and even if you all getting away with the evil, do you think it's gonna be forever? And say you do pass away. I, I doubt your passing away was a pretty one. I doubt it was a peaceful one. I doubt it is heaven. And then you gotta come back here not knowing, not remembering what you already did, what you already know from all other lifetimes that you done been here. Learning your way. Hearing the signs, not hearing the signs. Hearing the signs, not hearing the signs. Doing the work, not doing the work. I know it's a crazy thing to look at, but we do. It's a part of us. It's something that we do. All of us play some type of game, and all games got the same basic function. Right now, if you still into games, a lot of it is 3D, virtually down there, and we way beyond that. But is what they got us, tinkering with. But what happens when you die in the video game? Whatever video game you play. It's Pac-Man, Ninja Pinball, when you lose, what happens? You get another man. Is it the same man? No, it's not the same man. It's not the same bull. It's not the same. It's another man, another woman. And we will continue to pass on into these different vessels, different lifestyles, ethnicities, language, until whatever God's true intentions, which is profound because it's the intention. Everything has a goal, everything has a purpose. And if everything has a purpose, then it has to lead somewhere to a perfection, somewhere down the line, because of all the trials and errors, to all to learning and unlearning and relearning, evolution, upgrade, ascension, different words for the same definitions, the same cause. You see how we make things complicated. You got computer talk that replicates regular talk, but you got to know what those words are and the definition of the words that you already have words to, because they're going to reference to the words that you already know. Mm, That's the game, and it's not the game, it's perfection on all levels. Every rule, every lesson, you can put it with any situation and get the perfect outcome. Right now, the ones that, are on the ones that need to know basis, because it's supposed so-called levels to this shit, right? The lower nigga don't know what his boss know. His boss don't know what his boss know. It's a need to know. It's a need to know basis, right? But at the end of the day, when it all falls down, 9 times out of 10, who's the one that gets away? And normally be the top, and then even then, they don't really get away. And how does that actually happen? Does that happen because they have money? That's what they want you to believe. It's not really about money. It's about the souls that it captured, the souls that made make money for him, for them, in so many ways. Because after, say, I'm a drug dealer, kingpin, keys, whatever that you call it, I'm the top nigga. when it all comes down to it, I was serving somebody, right? Because I had to be out here gang banging. I had to be out here proving that I'm a force to be reckoned with in that game. If not, I'm a dead man. It's like don't you know don't get involved in something if you really don't know what it's all about. And if you do, just know you got to become what you need to become to be that. Because there's gonna be envy. It's gonna be somebody that wants the money that you make, have the house that you have, house the car that you drive, be able to travel the world like you try, wear the finest of the finest, or whatever, whatever. But y'all was willing to sell, must be willing to sell your souls and others. How many people do you think, if you was a drug kingpin, a drug lord, or drug heiress, but actually you had female, it's her own mortgage, niggas is scared of her type shit, but you do have that. How did you think they got there? You don't think they got blood on their hands? You don't think that they gotta be notorious to the people that work for them, so they know that they ain't one to play with, and they willing to fight or stand with that, because you already know whatever problems they got, you got, because you running with that. But at the same time, the problems that you have ain't that man's problem. Only the problem he has is that you better make sure he get his or hers. However, it ain't that crazy. You out here busting your gat, getting it in for the name of whoever. Lost family members, might have lost a kid, might have lost your girl, your wife, your close circle. The lives that you lose around you, let alone the lives that you take in dedication to what? To the dollar, to the organization, to that individual legacy, to say you was a part of it. And the ones that, you know, are the hardcores of the hardcores, that have the battle scars and the wounds and the real near death situations where, you're wounded, damn near fatally wounded, or it could be fatally wounded, and you survive it and still continue. We different type of people. Those are different type of people. That's focused. That's mind frame, and adaptability to survive, you know, the jungle. I'm not glorifying it, but it's the same with the so-called innocent, trying to do it the right way, working, a 9 to 5, which, you know, good. It's good to have something to do, you know, idle mind, idle time, idle mind. That's why you're supposed to find constructive things to do with your time, things that elevate you, things that help you grow, things that nurture, sustain for, it to blossom. That's our job in every aspect, not just gardening, not just beauty, in every aspect. You're supposed to be doing that aspect in progress. These are not profound words. These are not, oh my God, how did he think of this? Uh, Just a sign that we all know. If it's resonating and having you feeling in awe, it's because your spirit knows it to be true. It's jumping for joy that there is a resonance out there that is calling them forth. I'm gonna radiate even when I'm not on camera. My my God, giving me clarity, giving me insight, wisdom, because He know that I'm gonna do right with it. He know I'm gonna step out, step out no matter what, no matter how y'all feel about it, no matter what y'all wanna try to. Because like I said, I'm gonna know before y'all. And that's just straight serious, supernatural, real supernatural. But it's not supernatural. It's divine wisdom. It's the all in all. Speaking of balance, speaking of harmony, we're gonna forever have the unenlightened. But the more we enlighten, and the more we stay in the truth of being our true selves, because if all of us is being our true selves, I don't see how anybody really will be on a low vibration. For the simple fact you're a being what God made you to be. So let's think about that. A lot of us worry about how the world perceives us, how our families perceive us, how our friends. are individuals that can see the true selves beyond themselves that they see in themselves. I just want everybody that feels that or understood that one point that that's not y'all. That's what the world helped create you to be. I want you to think of, not to be triggering y'all, but for y'all to reminisce, but take the feeling out of it. Put yourself as the observer instead of being observed. You're going to be observing yourself and the situation from a third party point of view. Remember, keep the emotion out of it. See it, hear it, smell it, taste it, but keep it strictly logical. Or when you think logically, you in this mind, or in this mindset. What did I miss? That I'm doing now? And how can I do that? Missing it the first now. Those same things, all of everything in your life, and say, I forgive myself. I was a child and growing. Even as an adult, I don't care if you're 100 years old. Every day, if you are open to see, you will learn something new every day that will have you in awe. Because, like right now, for whatever perceive that the one that we hate or the one that we so called serve, that is his job. That is his position until he's fired. In the scriptures, it says one day he will be fired. He will be truly cast away with all that truly serve him. Do I want to believe that? Yes, I truly do. I don't take God's word for granted. And that'll be a glorious day. But that's on God's timing. Who knows what God's timing entails, truly entails. He could do what he want, when he want, how he want, whenever he want, with no overseer. He don't have to come and say, "Yo, what do you think about this if I did this?" Or "How did you, what you gonna feel about if I did this?" He don't have to do that. He just do whatever the hell he wants because he already know the outcome. So leave that in his hands and leave everything else in his hands. Truly surrender. Surrender. Ask for peace. Ask for guidance. Ask for understanding. Ask for wisdom. And the 9 to 5 that you killing yourself, that you really don't like, or you might have been doing it too long where you burnt yourself out or you need a break. And 9 times out of 10, the stuff that you've been doing to support your life and your family and whoever for your retirement and whatever. So and so on for somebody else that made a hell of a lot more when the stuff that you did that 9 times out of 10 they couldn't. And if this don't apply to you where you are a true boss, true bosses could do every position, every position. He could fill in for whoever is out if that's what he had to do. That's what a boss really is. A person that ain't shy of getting his hands dirty, ain't shy of filling in a position that not that he don't have to, but he's showing that he could also follow. You have to be a follower, become a leader. You have to be a leader, become a follower. It's, it's crazy, but true. If you're a leader, you're a great follower. If you're a great follower, you're a great leader. A leader will listen when it needs to be listened. You know, if you came to a leader and say, "Yo, such and such, such and such," and it made sense, it added clarity to his situation or her situation. It's acknowledged and used. If it doesn't, you get told, "Thank you for your suggestion, but I have a better way." And the person that made the suggestion will eventually have to bow down because they don't have control of that situation. Even if he did take the advice, they didn't have control. He had control of himself, or she had control of herself to be able to listen to the positivity, to the truth of whatever the individual or whatever deceitful phrase or statement that was made. Had to weigh, had to balance, had to respect itself and others enough to prosper. The only king ever in existence, which he's he or she or the entity is more than that, way more than that. It's our heavenly Father. It's our heavenly Father. There is no other. He's the only one that don't need no counsel. Or other kings need counsel. They need counsel from him and also counsel from the community that he or she serves. As you serve the king actually serves y'all. He makes sure that you're safe. He makes sure that there's enough food for everybody to be able to survive. Enough food in storage for whenever something drastic happens. Those are his ordinance. Those are his job. That is his job to manage and maintain the people, and not in a ruling class. As a loving father, as a guide, we all seen in all the different movies, cartoons, and stuff like that. The good, which we would say is good because it's all colorful and we wearing white and shiny and the skies are crisp with the birds and the bees and so and then you got the other kingdom that's looking dreadful. You like, yo, for real, we gotta live here. Like, is there any food? It's a place where you already know you're gonna be fighting for some food type shit. But this is real talk. Like, this is just, you know, a madman babble. There's no truth in it, which is all truth, all God vibrations, all high, high vibrate, high light, high divine, as close as holy than that you could get in its purest form. The devil's job is to test us, and he's so good at it. He know man or humanity, this vessel, nature better than we do. He know that if he could get the spirit or the mind to focus on serving this vessel instead of serving the universe, serving the community, serving Mother Gaia, that's our Mother Earth, and she has many other names before we called her Earth, or before we called her Mother Gaia. This place is more ancient than we can imagine. A lot of our old science history was a fabrication to hide knowledge, higher knowledge, that we are not alone, and that we're more special than every other species anywhere. And honored as such, and also despised as such. And I could relate because, like I said, there's levels to this shit. I'm living it with y'all. How you're envying and hating yourselves and don't realize it, but you're projecting it on me. And the reason why y'all throw it at me, because y'all know it's really y'all. And it bothers and irritates to see another individual like yourself that's no special than yourself, or at least you feel is no special than yourself, which is true. I'm not no special than yourself. The only thing that make me special is that I believe I'm remembering that my all my searching, seek knowledge, seek thy face, seek wisdom, seek truth, seek love. Not even seek love, live in it, be it, personify it, and watch everything get taken care of. Money don't exist. Gold is a metal. It's a precious metal. It's a metal that we use for a lot of our electronics. You know, it's a hell of a electrical conductor. But does it really have value? Have value because we make it have value. True value is stuff that we can't live without. Can't live without water. Can't live without vegetation. Did you hear that? But yet we have destroyed more than 80% of the vegetation on the planet. And who do the vegetation feed? Feed the animals.
to feed us. It houses the animals. It houses us. But yet we continually destroying ancient things that have been here sustaining us for lifetimes. Lifetimes that you can't even imagine or even want to fathom. But you should want to remember each and every last one of them in every lifetime or every next lifetime. So you be truly already aligned, moving in the most prosper, prosperity direction. No want, no lack, no sickness, no fear, no sorrow. What you mean no sorrow? Truly, no sorrow. Because whatever m- makes you so-called sad, it's a reset.
That's all it is. It's a reset. It's not a loss. I could pass away. You didn't lose me. You lost this vessel. And if you do know me, you do resonate with me. No matter where I go, I will always be with y'all. You remember the things I said. You remember the feelings, you know, that I produced in you. You remember the shift, the mindset, the it's not as ugly as it looks. We're supposed to look at the bright side to everything. I know it's confusing. I know it's kind of hard. It is a bright side to everything. It's frustrating and uncomfortable because we learning something that we don't know that we supposed to learn. But once we get it, it lightens. It disappears. You don't focus on it no more. For a simple fact, it don't hold that weight that it used to because you stood still instead of crying. You looked for what was being shown to you, and you map out a solution, even if you don't know what the solution will be. Having faith that God is going to show you a way, even if you hear something thinking it is from Him, and you know, putting it into works to find out that it don't come into fruition or it didn't work. It's not that God lied to you. It's that you still wasn't listening. You
looking for a quick solution, an instant solution, which is valid because all of us want instant gratification. But nobody wants to be going through what they going through and they don't have to be going through it. But I want us to all to have this reality of the things that we going through, the things that we have going through, the things that we repeatedly going through is because we don't see the lesson. We was never taught that we supposed to learn from these lessons in everything. Everything in life is a lesson. Everything in life is a lesson. So, as you can see, it goes back to what I said earlier. Just can't help it. There's levels to this shit. Where you have it in one section, it leads into all. It could lead into all. Where we show that we make things complicated, mentally, physically, because we not using our whole being. We using fragmented parts of ourselves. Okay, yeah, we gonna use logic on this, but yet we ain't gonna use logic on that. Yes, we gonna live in fantasy in here, but we ain't gonna live on fantasy on that. Oh yeah, we gonna live in truth on this, but yet we ain't gonna live in truth in that. There's a lot of people in history. There's a lot of people that's here today that could, you know, not prophesy. What mm, I'm trying to get the word out of my mouth. When, like, say, when you telling people what God have done for you, what you call what the universe have done for you. You know what I mean, right? I can't get it out my mouth. It's not prophesied. It's giving praise. As you call it, testifying. That's what it is. You testifying to His goodness. You testifying to His love. You testifying to the lessons, to His greatness, to what life truly is. Life is truth. Life is truth resonating, and we are beings that could fluctuate through it. All of us could be stars. All of us could be movie, actors. All of us could be singers. All of us could be. It ain't nothing we cannot do. Only thing you have to do is tap into that frequency and be it. Right now, you know, alive versus shifting to channels, learning that there are other channels that we can, you know, fluctuate through, or, you know, it's like changing radio stations. You know, what's on this station ain't on that station. But what's different about this, us being this radio, is that all stations are clear. All stations are crystal clear. And the higher frequencies you go, the closer you get to God. I know there's individuals that want to be gods or perceive themselves to be gods. The only way you could truly be a god and yet will never be a god, but to truly be god-like, even demigoddess or demigod, like Jesus. And you can't even say Jesus is a demigod. He is God completely, but was in human form. Demi means part human. In fact, he is a demigod, but personified as God because of who he is to God, the sacrificial lamb for all of creation, not all of earth, all of creation sins. He didn't just go down for man's sin. He going down for all of creation. He went down for all that. I might be delusional in this, but it's not delusional. But I know this is how y'all will want to perceive it. In the Bible, it says after he created, you know, the heavens and the earth, he created a man and gathered the hosts of all of creation and told them to bow to his most profound creation, which I truly feel and profess that none of us live nowhere close to what we supposed to be, even the ones that are way beyond me or under me. We are his tools. And no matter what craft you in, cooking, gardening, construction, cleaning, whatever, when the tool is not working, worn out, can't be fixed, what happens to it? It gets discarded and replaced. And if it can't be replaced, the whole system is discarded. Y'all not ready for me. Y'all not ready for the truth. The truth is too easy and too devastating at the same time. It sounds too easy and sounds too scary at the same time. And because it's so simple, y'all gonna make sure y'all make things complicated to make the simple look complicated. Peon brains. Peon brains when you play that game. That's a trickster game. It's a blood clot trickster game. And when you're a trickster, you serve the devil. I know I'm over here playing with the accents and shit, but that's serious. Like, y'all niggas, you know, my brothers and sisters, my soul family, my universal eternity family. When we gonna fix the system? How do we fix the system? By living the truth within yourself, remembering who you are, remembering what's unjust to one is unjust to everybody. That person that did it to that person, even though it wasn't done to you, did it to you too. And that's what we need to understand. If we can allow it to happen to somebody else and let them be hurt, it happens to you. If it can happen to you, it can happen to them. If it can happen to them, it can happen to you. So if we allow one injustice to one individual, it's an injustice to all. We all know that to be true, right? How can it not be good for this person and another person is being tried for the same thing, and it's not the same? Oh, it's different circumstances. It's different. This is different. That. Y'all have a point, but justice is justice, even under the circumstances, because within those circumstances. there is justice. But if we using those justice tools as loopholes for individuals that's not living in justice, it's the injustice to all. Because as soon as if it can happen, if they're able to do it in the system to whoever they did it to, the system is able to do it to you when it's ready to. It might not catch you this lifetime. It'll catch you next lifetime. It might have already caught you, especially if you already have feelings about it. You know, the ones that's real animate about certain shit. 9 times out of 10, it happened to them in this lifetime, which, you know, I truly sympathize. I don't wish no pain, no hurt on nobody. But until we change that fact within ourselves, where it cannot happen around me, it cannot happen to me, it cannot happen to a person that's around me, next to me. And I mean, collectively, all of us feeling that way. If we all felt that nobody should be hungry, truly felt that, nobody will be hungry. If we truly felt nobody should be housed, nobody will be housed. So if these people could be housed, how those people was not able to be housed? If you're able to wear the finest silks, the finest leathers, the finest whatever, why the next man can't have that too? You're no better than the next man, no matter what job you have, how good you do your job. Your job takes care of you. You don't take care of the job. And the job that I'm talking about is being in line, being your true self. When you being your true self, that is payment enough. And when that's payment, when you able, you know how they say, do the job you love, and you will always be abundant. It wasn't about the money. It's about the happiness, the love, the dedication that, you know, you shared in your work and to the people that is putting use to your work. That should be your riches, your joy. And a lot of times when we working for somebody or a corporation or whatever, we don't get to see or feel that joy of how your, you know, your handiwork, your, you know, your craftsmanship, no matter what it is, served and touched and lit up that person's face in gratitude, respect, and honored to have you produce what you produced and for them able to use it how it needs to be used for them and theirs. And if we all did that, in each one of our aspects of who we are. Who would lack? I want y'all to think about that. Y'all enjoy your night, your day, your afternoon. We all know, and if you don't, whenever you see this, it's timeless. It really is. It's eternal. And if it's not coming from this vessel, it might not be the same words, but it will be the same concept, the same idea, the same vibration, the same signal. That's on the truth level. Y'all stay blessed. I ask God, bring us to complete awareness, to a complete remembrance of truly what our spirit is capable of and how the world in unison focus on loving themselves first and foremost, and then after really truly falling in love with yourselves, be able to love others that same way, and you will be able to, because you'll know who those individuals that you can give that absolute love to, because you know you. And once you know you, you will see the others, or the others that's like you, will be drawn to you as you are drawn to them. Why? Wavelength, resonance, magnetism, spiritual harmonic. You are the company that you keep, in more sense of the word than any. But still at the same time, because there's always a contradiction, there's always the exception to the rule. Because you are you. You don't have to follow. You don't have to lead. Only thing you have to just do is be. And be the highest you. Strive to the highest you. Be in love and infatuated with the highest you. And creating the highest you in that journey, in that process. And then when you turn back and you look at where you came from, where you've been, how much has changed within you, how much growth within your surroundings because of the change within you. And because you resonated, you became still, went within and started loving yourself, actually fell in love with yourself. Where your life becomes a fantasy, where your whimsical wishes start to come true. Stuff that starts happening that catch you off guard, feels like deja vu, like you've been here before, like you experienced this, but yet this is new. This is happening now. This has never happened in this. Our God is great. He's funny. He's logical. He's illogical. Yeah, for your scientists, I want your greatest task. Explain. Try to explain. And believe it or not, y'all been doing it all along through the little things that y'all have been explaining in the truth of the absolute truth of what y'all been explaining. But I want y'all to put all those pieces together. Everything you ever learned, or everything we could, you know, you know, the enlightened in our subjects, the highly, high vibrational in whatever aspect that you focused your skill, your mindset in. It's it. It's truly it. Like, y'all be good.